Good morning. The election is over. Now we're living in a post era, 4 years under President Biden and his people. So, what's going to happen going forward? Well, I think we will see a big change in the way America is governed, and also a big change in the way that America influences the rest of the world. Almost all of the executive orders of President Trump have been canceled. Obviously, it's going to be a big blow to Israel and also a big blow to the United States, but the real losers will be the United States. The real losers will be religious Americans, whether you're a Christian or a Jew or a Muslim, or even if you're an atheist, your freedoms are about to go out the window. This is essentially a revolution of the left, of socialism, and a disenfranchisement of around about 75 million Americans who will now either have to bow their heads to the new authorities or end up in jail, because that's essentially what's going to happen. I've heard so much about this for so many years. In an emergency, the president has got ultimate authority to utilize FEMA, which has a list of undesirables, to arrest and to deport them to camps to keep them from mixing with the general population. Normally, we use FEMA for hurricanes and other natural disasters, but it can also be used to repress freedom of speech, if the powers that be decide that 75 million people are a danger, a clear and present danger, I think to use a clear and present danger to the stability of the government of the United States of America. They can be arbitrarily arrested. They can be arbitrarily imprisoned for as long as they want to be. And you know, in a way, this is a lot like the McCarthy era. I remember I was around about 5 years old then, and there came a knock on the door. And I opened the door, and there were two gentlemen dressed in nice, neat suits. And they said, "Son, is your grandmother in?" And I said, "Well, yeah, Grandma, come on, we've got visitors." As soon as she went out, she was grabbed and taken away for 1 month. Her sin was she used to write for the Capital Times in Wisconsin opinion pieces, and she irritated the people in power. After a month, we couldn't find out where she was or where she was taken. She returned to us, and she never wrote another article again for as long as she lived, and she lived to 96. So you see, it is possible. It is possible to do this. We saw the McCarthy era, and that was only the tip of the iceberg. What we are going to see now under the Biden era is repression that has been unknown since the rise of Hitler and Mussolini. And ultimately, it's going to affect the Jews. He's putting a lot of Jews in his administration, which, well, they call themselves Jews. But they're not Zionistic Jews. They're not Jews that would ever be willing to live in Israel. So, as long as they serve the party, they'll be safe. That's the same thing that happened to Jews in Russia. As long as they serve the party, they're more or less safe. That's not a good situation to be in, my Jewish brethren. In addition to that, as you can see plainly, this is an assault on Christian America. And Christians, I want to tell you, especially evangelical Christians, you have a lot of responsibility to bear in Trump losing the election, since most evangelicals under the age of 25 voted for Biden. So the chickens have come home to roost. The chickens have come home to roost. This is very interesting. I'll be watching you, and I'll be very sad to see the next stage of the Republic, stage 2, or we could say revised Republic, for the next 4 years, and the end of the Electoral College and the end of justice. So, on that note, let me say Shabbat Shalom, have a wonderful Shabbat, and try to survive the corona. Go get your shots. I'm going to get my shot Saturday night. My second shot, actually. And if we do survive the corona, and if we do survive Biden, we have a lot of work to do to put the world back together again. So long and good luck from Israel.